incursion and infiltration plan for the water system, we'd be digging it up the next day. So it's aggravating, it's inconvenient, but it makes good sense. It's good use of their money.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the questions from the audience. Each candidate now will have a 2-minute closing statement, and we will start in the same order that we did earlier. Robert Keeble, place 3 candidate.
I'll go ahead and finish up some points that I was making in my intro because I think they're points worth visiting. Some of the primary issues discussed by the folks with whom I visited are these. The folks in River Hill have told me that they're very concerned about road maintenance and traffic safety. There's a group of people who live on River Hill Boulevard, and for some time now they've tried to talk with the council about trying to work out a way to make their road safer. It's not very safe. Recently, two mailboxes, both made out of brick and stone, have been hit on that road by dangerous drivers. And I have promised these individuals that if I'm elected, they can make a presentation to council. They have worked on putting together digital photos and what have you. And I'm intent on getting these people some help for their road. And I think that that's an issue that they're very concerned about. We have significant property taxes, as Mr. Jackson, I think, just pointed out, and the residents in Comanche Trace and the Summit are up in arms about it. They're paying considerable property taxes. It's not that there are 20,000 plus that they pay annually for ad valorem are any more on a relative basis than the $1,000 or $1,200 that somebody who has less income and is less affluent pays. But it is that the people are very concerned about it, and we've simply got to address it as a city council, and I believe there are ways we can. The citizens around Bluebonnet Drive have told me that they want to see increased police protection. Several on that street have mentioned that to me, and I think it's critical that we get them that. I mentioned that the main concern of the folks in Vicksburg Village is the Paschal Street road condition. They take this road as an alternative to Sidney Baker, and I think we can get them some help there.
Keeble, your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scott Groves, he is running for place 3 candidate.
I opened with a partial list of things that your city council has done that would make you proud. And I'm going to close with a few things that should make you worried. If your city was a private company, you were dealing with 300 employees and 25,000 stakeholders, you'd think twice about who you left in charge of a $20+ million budget. I know I would. You'd want a real business experienced person, preferably with government experience as well. And if I were doing the selecting, I'd be looking for someone I could trust to do the right thing, even when it was the difficult thing. My management philosophy has always been to hire good people, train them well, and then get out of their way. The last thing the city manager needs is to have council members trying to micromanage his staff. The Keebles have already publicly targeted 2 key members of the city manager's staff. How can a city manager move forward when he's watching his back? Now, most of you have me figured as a laid-back kind of guy, and you're pretty much right. But when the issues are important, I'm a stand-up team player. Right now, I'm standing up for you. I'm standing between continued team progress and a council with a built-in 40% voting block. Why would any member of the council risk committing an open meetings felony by talking to either one of these folks outside of a posted meeting? 2 family members on the council will turn Kerrville into Keebleville. It's not just a dumb idea, it's a dangerous idea. Now, fortunately, you have an alternative that's experienced and has a proven track record. For the past 4 years, I've been standing up for you, and now it's your turn to stand up for what's right and sensible. And all I ask is that when you go to the polls, stand up for me and keep your independent voice on council.
Thank you very much, Robert Penny. Your closing statement, 2 minutes, please.
What I'm going to ask from the citizens of Kerrville is to share in a vision for the future for your city. I really would like you to think about where you want this city to be in 3 years, in 10 years, and in 20 years, because the things that we do today will affect that vision, and we want to do that in a positive way. It's your city. We want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. It's the citizens who run the government in Kerrville. Tell City Council what you want your community to look like. Give your commitment to that vision. Hold the City Council to that vision. And we can all work together and decide what our community will look like, and then work together as to the end result of what it will be. Thank you.
Thank you. Gene Allen, place 4 candidate.
As we continue through the last 2.5 weeks of the campaign process, and the voters and taxpayers attempt to make their minds up as to how they see the direction that Kerrville is going and who's going to lead Kerrville in that direction, I would urge you to carefully consider all factors when you go to the polls. As I've mentioned before, and you've obviously read in the paper, I do have council experience from the past, and I pledge to you that I will be your voice. I will do my best to represent the citizens of Kerrville in the very best possible way. And I'm going to leave you with one thought, and I know that some of you probably think that I'm never serious, but I do get serious. As most of you know, the old joke about funeral directors, the undertaker is the last person to let you down. I promise you, on city council, if elected, I won't let you down.
Mr. Paul Stafford, place 4 candidate.
I've been a frequent visitor and guest to Kerr County and Kerrville since 1972. I have always been in awe of this beautiful country. I returned home from a hunting trip here 5 years ago, and my wife says, "How was your trip?" And I said, "I could live in Kerrville." Without blinking, she said, "Fine as a house." 3 weeks later, I did, and 3 months later, here we are. We've been here for 5 years, but our friend says, "Well, what is Faye going to do in, what's the name of it? Kerrville or Kerrville? Is it near Fredericksburg?" Well, I'll tell you what she's done. She's a former board member of the Republican Women of Kerr County. She's involved in sculpture and art, pistol skeeting, rifle shooting at the HCSC, occasional big game hunting, River Hill Women's Golf Association, volunteer work at St. Vincent's and others, former board member at River Hill Country Club. I sometimes forget what she looks like, but I love her and I love this city, and that's why I'm involved. I will not be a rubber stamp, and I will not be a yes man. About 50 years ago, I was involved in a play called Rebel Without a Cause. Here I am today, a rebel with a cause. Thank you.